Initially, for a few minutes, we will have a small meditation. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Deep conscious breathing. Aware of this body. From the toes to the top of the head, I am aware of. I am relaxed. Physically and mentally, I am relaxed. I am consciousness. Chit Swarupaha. Sakshi, the witness of the body, senses, and the mind. I am free from all disturbances. Shanta Swarupaha. Shantoham. 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 I, consciousness, am Shanta Swarupaha. Peace is my nature. Shanta Swarupaha. Shanta Swarupaha. Shanta Swarupaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You can open your eyes. Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankarācārya-madhyamām Asmadācārya-paryantām Vande Guru Paramparam. The third shloka I will read, you can repeat. शश्वन्नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलम् निश्चित्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यं ब्रह्म निरन्तरं विमृशता निर्व्याजशान्तात्मना भूतं भावि च दुष्कृतं प्रदहता संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितं स्ववपुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम. So the first shloka said, I am consciousness and not this body mind sense complex. And I, consciousness obtaining in this body, am pervading all the living beings, all the bodies. And then in the second shloka, the Mahavakya Aham Brahmasmi was highlighted and said that Aham, I, consciousness, which is obtaining in this body, is Brahma, which is Jagat Adhishthanam. Brahma literally means limitless. And it is Jagat Adhishthanam. So I, consciousness, am the Adhishthanam, the truth of everything. And by this shloka, the possible question of the duality between the matter and consciousness was resolved. Matter does not exist apart from consciousness to create the duality for consciousness. And thus, the scientist view that matter is fundamental is dismissed. Even Nayayika, Vaisheshika, they say that consciousness is a quality that is dismissed. Here I wanted to clarify. I said consciousness is taken as the quality of the mind by Nayayika, not mind, Atma. They consider consciousness as a quality of Atma. And Atma by itself is what? Dravyam, a matter. Atma is material, inert by itself. And consciousness sits there as a quality. That type of funny thinking they have. So that also is dismissed. And it was said that whoever has this vision that I, consciousness, am limitless Brahma, the Adhishthanam of this Jagat, that person is Guru. This person is a wise person and he alone can be Guru. Now in the third shloka, the third Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, is hinted. And various stages of sadhanas are suggested. Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and then result of Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga is not directly mentioned, it is mentioned in terms of its result. When a person follows the sadhana of Karma Yoga, then he gets Chitta Shuddhi. And the Chitta Shuddhi will bring about the clarity of everything in the world. So he or she will be able to see the limitations of the worldly pursuit. Worldly things, everything he will be able to see. What are the plus and what are the minus. That is called objectivity. Either seeing only plus or only minus, both are subjectivity. Seeing both is objectivity. And that objectivity is the result of Karma Yoga. That is said as Shashvan Nashwarameva Vishwamakhilam Nishchitya. Nishchitya means having ascertained, understood well. What? Akhilam Vishwam, the entire world. Shashvat, always. Nashwarameva is impermanent alone. So understanding this entire world as impermanent. And it is not that earlier it was permanent and now it has become impermanent. Or now it is impermanent, someday it will become permanent. Therefore it is a Shashvat. Always it is temporary. This world is subject to change. Gacchati iti jagat. The very meaning of the word jagat is that keeps moving. Is called jagat. And therefore it is temporary. Therefore there is no point in complaining, Swamiji, my relatives earlier they were like this and now they are like this. My children earlier they were so obedient, now they don't listen to me. That is how the world is. Change is the only constant thing in the world. So things keep changing. You also changing. You are also changing. So this world is Nashwaram. Nashwaram means transitory. This is called Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, which is the outcome of following the sadhana of Karma Yoga. When Karma Yoga is there, Chitta Shuddhi is there, purity of the mind is there. So you see things clearly. And that is Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, discrimination between permanent and impermanent, and which will lead to Vairagyam and Mumukshutvam. So all these things are suggested by this Shashwan Nashwaram Vishwamakhilam. So Karma Yoga in terms of its result is presented. Then second one is Upasana Yoga is presented in terms of its result. How? Nirvyaja Shantatmana. Second line. Shanta Atma. Here Atma means the mind. A person having the Shanta Atma, composed mind, which is the outcome of Upasana. And Nirvyaja, free from deceit, free from manipulation, free from crookedness, which stands for all values, Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantihi, Arjavam. And here the value of Arjavam, straightforwardness, is highlighted. This is one of the important qualities in spiritual pursuit. People, those who think that I, Swamiji, very smartly manipulate and fool people and I am so intelligent, then you may be, even in the worldly pursuit also, you may be successful for some time. But in spiritual pursuit, a person will be disqualified. The crookedness is commitment to the falsehood. Vedanta pursuit is commitment to the truth. The commitment to the falsehood and commitment to the truth, how can they go together? Therefore, if one wants to be successful in the pursuit of moksha, this crookedness, manipulativeness has to go. It's not that easy. And unfortunately, a person will be having this manipulative tendency, but he will not be able to acknowledge it. He said, no, Swami, I am a very straightforward person. So, one has to see that where all we have manipulation, where all we are hiding things, presenting things differently, something is in a particular way and we present it differently. So those things slowly has to reduce, then only Vedanta pursuit will become effective. Therefore, Nirvyaja Shantatmana. So Nirvyaja word stands for all values. And Shanta, composure, which is the result of Upasana. So Nirvyaja Shantatmana is the outcome of the Upasana and Ashtanga Yoga. And having attained this Viveka by Karma Yoga and Shanta mind by this Upasana, then what he has to do? He has to go to the Guru, if he has not already gone, and learn about oneself. And what is oneself? Brahma. And that is said here, Guroho Vacha Nityam Brahma Nishchitya. By the word, Vacha means by the word, by the sentence of the Guru, the teacher. Nishchitya, having very well understood. What? Nityam Brahma. Brahman, which is timeless, permanent, free from limitation of time. And which sentence? Tattvamasi Mahavakyena. Here we can bring in this implication, the indication of Tattvamasi Mahavakya. So by Tattvamasi iti vachasa, Guroho vachasa, Nityam Brahma Nishchitya. Having very well understood this Nityam Brahma as oneself, Atmatvena Nishchitya. Having very well ascertained this Nityam Brahma as oneself, with the help of the sentence of the teacher. What is the sentence? Tattvamasi. Of course, Tattvamasi will be preceded by lot of teaching. What is Tat? What is Tvam? After that, teacher will say, You are that limitless Brahman. So, having very well understood means doing Shravana and Mananam. Nishchitya indicates Shravana and Mananam. And then what? Nirantaram Vimrushata. Vimrushata means contemplating. Nirantaram, constantly. Indicating the sadhana of Nididhyasanam. And Nididhyasanam is of two types. Samadhi Abhyasa means practicing Nididhyasan in the form of formal contemplation, meditation. And Jnanabhyasa Rupa means keep seeing this teaching of Vedanta even while I am responding to the world. So, whether my life, my response to different situation, all of them are in harmony with the teaching of Vedanta or not. So, that I keep seeing, and whenever I get opportunity, I share. That is called Jnanabhyasa. So, that is referred to by the word Vimrushata. So, contemplating and seeing the teaching of Vedanta as and when it is required, that is Vimrushata, contemplating with the mind which is composed. So far what has been talked about? Result of Karma Yoga in the form of Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, result of Upasana in the form of Shantatmana, Nirvyaja Shantatmana, and then Jnana Yoga, Nishchitya, Shravana and Manana, indicated by Nishchitya, Vimrushata, Nididhyasanam. So by Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasanam, a person gets well ascertained knowledge and he keeps contemplating upon that. Then what happens to him? He gets Jnana Nishtha. And what is the result of Jnana Nishtha? Result of Jnana Nishtha is Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. That is suggested in the next line. Bhutam bhavicha dushkrutam pradahata. Jnana Nishtha, the abiding knowledge, gives freedom. And that freedom is presented in various ways in Shastra. One is Atyantika Ananda Prapti, Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti, and Karma Mukti, so freedom from the Punya Papa. And that particular presentation, that particular way of presenting moksha is given here. And what is said? Bhutam bhavicha dushkrutam pradahata. A person has got the account of punya and papa. And a person has collected lot of punya and papa in the past, which is not yet ready to give the result. That is called sanchita karma, which is suggested by the word bhutam. So bhutam dushkrutam. Dushkrutam means papam, but here papam includes punyam as well. So dushkrutam, sukrutam, bhutam, past punya and papa, pradahata. Pradahata means burning. This wise person is burning the account of sanchita karma collected so far. And since he has understood that I am Brahma, free from modification and free from action, therefore I do not have any karma, he disclaims. And therefore, even when physically activities are happening in the body of a wise person, this agami karma means the punya papa collected in this life, that does not happen. So that is called bhavi pradahata. Bhavi means agami karma. The punya papa generally collected in this life by ignorant people, that also is destroyed by this person. And here bhavi pradahata means what? Avoiding bhavi. It is not that first bhavi, the future karma is come and then it is destroyed. So bhavi pradahata means avoiding, preventing, not having this agami karma. Sanchita is burnt, agami is not born. And how it happens? Samvinmaye pavake. Pavaka means fire. Samvinmaya here means Jnanamaya. In the Jnanamaya Agni, in the fire of knowledge, The past karma is burnt and future karma, agami karma is avoided. Means the Brahma Jnanam a person has makes the person free from the bondage of karma. And there is third type of karma, punya papa, which is called prarabdha, which has started giving the result. And that type of karma, punya papa, which have started giving result, that will not be destroyed. That will remain. And it is a big blessing for us. That prarabdha karma of a wise person remains so that wise person is alive. If prarabdha is immediately over, then there will not be a wise person. So, what happens to prarabdha? He says, prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu is a very popular statement. What is the approach of a wise person? Swavapuhu, one's own body, samarpitam offered, prarabdhaya to prarabdha, which is nothing but Ishvara. So, wise person is surrendering its body, its life to prarabdha. What does it mean? He offers no resistance to the situations brought about by prarabdha. Not offering resistance is called surrender. And that is done by this wise person. He says, this let this body be offered to prarabdha. Prarabdha has already created a very conducive situation so far, and therefore I got this wisdom. I am owning up my freedom. Let this body be offered to prarabdha. Whatever prarabdha has to do to this this body, let it do it. So no resistance is called samarpitam. And such a person is my guru. Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu yena. By person whom this body, one's own body is offered to prarabdha, that person is my guru. Iti esha manisha mama. This is my conviction that a person who followed the sadhana of karma yoga, upasana yoga, jnana yoga, and got jnanam, burnt his sanchita karma, avoiding agami karma, and who has offered his life to prarabdha karma, that person is my guru. This is my conviction. Thus, Tattvamasi Mahavakya is just hinted by Guroho Vacha. Alright. Now the fourth sloka. Yatiryang naradevata birahamityanta grihyate. Yadbhasa hrudayaksha deha vishaya bhanti svato chetanaha. तां भास्यैः पिहितार्कमण्डलनिभां स्फूर्तिं सदा भावयन् योगी निर्वृतमानसो हि गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम. This shloka is supposed to be the explanation of the fourth Mahavakya, Ayamatma Brahma. This Ayamatma Brahma means this Atma which is obtaining in this body is Brahma, is limitless consciousness behind the world as well. And here this Atma is revealed in the form of consciousness. It is somewhat similar to the first shloka with some more clarification. And what is said here? Ya means which, referring to consciousness. It will be said spurti. Here one more word for consciousness is spurti, consciousness. Consciousness which is grihyate. Grihyate means is recognized. evident, experienced, sphuta, very well, clearly. By whom? Tiryang Nara Devata Bhihi. Tiryang means animals. Nara, human beings. Devata, gods. Consciousness is grasped, cognized by animals, human beings, and devatas. How consciousness is cognized? He says, Aham iti, as I am. Everybody, when one refers to oneself, how does he refer? I am. So, this I am is the cognition of consciousness, which is existence. I refers to consciousness, am refers to existence. So, I am means existence consciousness. So, everybody has got this cognition of consciousness as what? I. That is why we don't have dearth of experience of Brahman, which is consciousness. Only consciousness, which is evident in all experiences, is to be understood in its true nature. So, what we need is the understanding of consciousness, which is already evident. So, we don't require a new experience of Brahman, it is all the time available. So, yeah, consciousness which is grihyate is cognized by all Manushya, Devata, and Pashu, all of them. Grihyate. Sphuta means very clearly. As I told you, that I am, whether I am intelligent or not, I may have doubt, but I am, there is no doubt. Therefore, sphuta. Where is it grasped? Antaha. Anta means inside the mind. So, consciousness is that which is cognized clearly inside the mind as I am by animals, human beings, and devatas. All right. And what does this consciousness do? It doesn't do anything, but by mere its presence, everything is shining. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. That idea is given. Yad bhasa. By whose light? Consciousness is that by whose light swataha achetanaha api bhanti, shine. Who are shining? Hridaya, Aksha, Deha, Vishayaha. Hridaya here stands for the mind, because the mind is supposed to be located in the heart, which is a different understanding from science. Science thinks the brain is got the mind. Shastra says the heart is the locus of the mind. So, Hridaya, mind. Aksha means organs. Deha, body. Vishayaha means objects. All of them are bhanti, shining. Shining means what? Become evident. Swataha achetana. Swata means by themselves. Achetanaha, insentient, non-luminous. Even though by themselves they are non-luminous, still they are shining because of the light of consciousness. Like the moon does not have light of its own, but because of the association with the sunlight, it shines. Similarly, this mind, sense organs, body, objects, they are by themselves inert. They cannot shine. They do not have light, but because of the light of consciousness, they are shining. By themselves, no light. Like in a dark room, so many things are there, cannot be seen. But there is a sunlight outside. That outside sunlight is not coming inside. So, if there is a mirror, then first mirror becomes evident. And then mirror is illumine and it becomes illuminator and then illumines all objects inside the dark room. Similarly, all the objects themselves are not having light, but because of the light of consciousness, the mind is illumined, and in turn, the mind becomes illuminator and illumines the objects. So, all the things which are becoming evident, anything becoming evident, anything becoming known is because of this light of consciousness alone. So, consciousness makes things evident. All right. But what happens? Even though these objects, sense organs, mind, body, all of them, they become evident, known only because of consciousness. So they should be really grateful to consciousness, figuratively speaking. But instead of that, they are hiding Atma, because of whom they become illumined, known. That Atma itself is covered by this mind, sense organs, body, etc. So, as if they are ungrateful, they were illumined by Atma and they are covering Atma. Like some people, they come up because of some particular teacher, and afterwards he tried to show off himself that everything he only knows, he only got. And he always try to avoid even the mention of the teacher, covering the glory. So similarly, the sense organs, mind, etc. are doing like that. And in Shastra, they give the example. Cloud is seen because of the sun. But the same cloud which is seen because of the sun covers the sun. Covers the sun means what? He covers the sight of the person. And because of that, sun is not seen. So, the cloud which is illumined by the sun covers the illuminator sun. Similarly, here, the sense organs, mind, etc., they are illumined by Atma, but they cover Atma as it were. Now, question is that how can they cover? Because generally cover should be more than or equal to the covered. So here covering is not in physical sense. Covering is in the form of distracting the person from the Atma and not allowing the person to know the Atma. It is something like, if I ask you, what are you saying? You will say clip. So this clip is becoming a covering factor for light. You don't say I am seeing light. When I say what do you see? You say clip. Really speaking, what you are saying is light only. But the clip becomes a covering factor for you to appreciate light. Therefore, figuratively we say clip covers light. Why? It draws your attention and therefore you miss to appreciate the presence of light. Similarly, the mind, objects, all of them are dragging your attention to the anatma and not allowing to appreciate atma. And also becoming the basis for identification, they don't allow you to appreciate atma. And therefore it is said they are covering atma. That is said here, tam bhasyehi pihitarka mandala nibham sphurtim. Consciousness which is nibham means like. Consciousness is like mandala, arka mandala, surya mandala. Arka means surya. Arka mandala means surya mandala, means the orb of the sun. Consciousness is like the orb of the sun, which is pihita, which is covered. Here we have to supply by the clouds. Consciousness is like the sun which is covered by the clouds. And covered by what? The consciousness is covered by what? Bhasyahi. Bhasyahi means those which are illumined. So consciousness is covered by those hridayaksha deha vishayaha, those which are illumined by consciousness. Consciousness is covered by the mind, sense organs, body and the objects which themselves are illumined by consciousness. So by illumined, the illuminator is covered. And that is what consciousness is. But that is the case with ignorant people. The wise person is what? Spurtim sada bhavayan. Yogi. Here yogi refers to Gnana yogi, one who is doing nididhyasanam. That yogi, bhavayan, contemplating, sada, always, spurtim, consciousness, which is generally covered by the objects, etc., for ignorant people, that consciousness he contemplates. Tam, that consciousness he contemplates. And because of that, what happens? Nirvrita manasaha. One whose mind is nirvrita. Nirvrita means fulfilled. Because of his contemplation, his mind is full of this ananda, fulfillment. So, nirvrita manasaha means with fulfilled mind. And such a person, he indeed is Guru. He is a wise person and he is Guru. Iti esha manisha mama. This is my conviction. So in this mantra, this shloka, what is said here? Consciousness is cognized by everyone as I am. This consciousness, because of this consciousness alone, mind, sense organs, body and objects are shining, becoming evident. And this consciousness is as though covered by this mind, etc. But wise person recognizes this consciousness and contemplates upon that consciousness as oneself, and because of which he has fulfillment. And that wise person is Guru. This is my conviction. Now in the last shloka, Ananda Swarupa of Brahma is highlighted. The 4 Mahavakyas have been already completed. Now in the last one, this Ananda Swarupa of Brahma is highlighted, and Falashruti also is given. Glorification of a wise person also is done. Yat Saukyambudilesha Leshata ime Shakradayo nirvrutaha Yacchitte nitaram prashanta kalane Labdhva munir nirvrutaha Yasmin nitya sukhambudhau galitadhihi Brahmaiva na brahmavit Yah kasyit sa surendra vandita padaha Nunam manisha mama. So the teaching given so far is I, consciousness, am limitless. Limitless means time-wise I am free from limitation, means I am all the time there. Space-wise free from limitation, everywhere. Object-wise nothing is away from me. So time-wise, space-wise, object-wise I am limitless. And this limitlessness, the wholeness, Purnatvam, is the basis for experiential happiness. And therefore this Purnatvam or the limitlessness is called Ananda. It is Swarupa Ananda. And this Swarupa Ananda alone is expressed in a particular condition of the mind, and that is called Anubhava Ananda, experiential happiness, Pratibimba Ananda. And here in this shloka, the Acharya wants to say that all experiential pleasure experienced by any jiva is the manifestation, a very, very small manifestation of limitless Ananda. Experiential pleasure experienced by all jivas is manifestation of limitless Ananda, which is the nature of Brahma, Atma, I. So he says, Yat Saukhyambudhi Lesha Leshata ime Shakradayah Nirvrutaha. Ime Shakradayah. Ime means these. Shakradaya means Indra and others. Indra, who is having very high degree of Ananda. In Taittiriya, Ananda Mimamsa is given the gradation. So compared to Manushya, the Gandharva will have more Ananda, Deva will have more Ananda, Indra will have more Ananda. So Indra and others, Nirvrutaha, are happy. Nirvrita means happy. Shakradaya are becoming happy, experiencing the happiness. How? Lesha Leshataha, from a part of, Lesha means a part, from a part of a fraction, Lesha, fraction, of Ambudhi, the ocean, of Saukhya, Ananda, by a part of the ocean of the ocean of Ananda, fullness, Indra and others are happy. So Indras are becoming happy just by a very small fraction of this Svarupananda, the Ananda which is my nature. And this Svarupananda, how is it experienced? It is not available for experience. It is available for owning up. Reflected Ananda alone is available for experience. Like reflected eyes alone are available for me to see. My eyes are available only as in reflected form. Original eye is not available for me to see. It is available for owning up. Similarly, Svarupananda is available for owning up. And owning up is explained here. Yacchitte nitaram prashanta kalane labdhva munil nirvrutaha. Munihi, a wise person, is nirvrutaha, fulfilled. How? Labdhva, having owned up. Yat refers to this Ananda, Saukhyam. Having owned up this Ananda, Munihi, a wise person, is fulfilled. Where? Chitte, in the mind. What type of mind? Nitaram prashanta kalane. Nitaram means completely. Prashanta kalane means the mind in which all the distractions are quietened. Means in quiet mind. In a quiet mind, Muni, this contemplator, wise person, is owning up Ananda. So it is a matter of owning up. I am Ananda. And Yasmin Nitya Sukham Vidhau Galita Dhihi. A person whose dhi means mind, Galita, absorbed. A person whose mind is absorbed. Where? Yasmin Nitya Sukham Budhau. In the Ambudhi means the ocean. The ocean of Nitya Sukha. Nitya Sukha means Swarupa Sukha. A person whose mind is absorbed in the ocean of permanent happiness, fullness. In which ocean of happiness a person's mind is absorbed? Means a person is fully convinced, I am Ananda Swarupaha, and no doubt is there, no habitual error is there. Such a person is Brahma Eva, is Brahman alone, na Brahmavit. He is not the knower of Brahman. He doesn't claim himself to be the knower, which is an interesting thing. Knower of Brahman doesn't claim himself to be the knower of Brahman. Only one who has not understood, he will say, I am knower of Brahman. Once you say, I am knower of Brahman, you are objectifying Brahman. So when I understand Brahman very well, I don't claim myself to be Brahmagnani. What do I claim myself? Brahma. But some people have more value to claim as Brahmagnani than Brahman. You imagine if I tell you, oh, you are Brahman. Ah, okay, Swamiji. But if you say, I see now you are Brahmagnani. Really, Swamiji? "Ah, really? Yeah. Today more Dakshina. If I tell you are Brahman, no Dakshina. But if Brahmagnani, if I tell you, ah, yes, Swamiji, yes. Thank you. So that shows the ignorance. So Brahmagnani is the one who doesn't claim himself to be Brahmagnani. He, what does he claim? I am Brahman. So he is Brahmaiva na Brahmavit. He is not a Brahmavit. He is no more having this duality of knower known. And Acharya says, Yah Kashit. Anyone who is like this, who has got this wisdom, Saha, that person, that wise person, Surendra Vandita Padaha. Pada means feet. His feet are Vandita, saluted. Surendra. Surendra means by the best among the Devatas, the king of Devatas. Means he is glorified by all the Jivas, including Indra. And such a person, etadrishaha, such a person is Guru. Nunam manisha mama. This is my conviction. Such a person is my Guru. So in this shloka, Ananda Swarupa of Atma Brahman was highlighted. इति श्रीमद् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यस्य श्री गोविंद भगवत पूज्य पाद शिष्यस्य श्रीमद् शंकर भगवतः कृतौ मनीषा पंचकम संपूर्णम. So with this Manisha Panchakam is completed. But one more Kshepaka Shloka is there. We will read and just conclude. Dasasteham deha drishyasmi shambho जातस्तेंशो जीवदृष्ट्या त्रिदृष्टे सर्वस्यात्मन्नात्मदृष्ट्या त्वमेवे त्येवं मे धीर्निश्चिता सर्वशास्त्रैः. So somebody has added this shloka. It is not a part of the main text, but nice shloka. It says, Hey Shambho, O Lord Shiva, Deha Drishtya, from the standpoint of the body, I am your servant. I am here to carry out your instruction. Te dasaha. And Tridrashte means Trinetra. Shiva has 3 eyes, 1/3 is a Gnana Netra. So 3 eyes. O 3-eyed Lord Shiva, Jiva Drishtya, from the standpoint of being a Jiva, Te Amshaha Jataha, I have become your Amsha, part. From the standpoint of being Jiva, I am your part. So first was the Dvaitam, and second one is Vishishta Dvaitam. Now Advaitam. Sarvasya Atman, Sambodhana, O self of all. Lord Shiva, O self of all, Atma Drishtya, from the standpoint of Atma, consciousness, Tvameva, I am you. I will claim I am you. Iti evam, in this manner, me nishchita dihi, my well ascertained understanding is there. How? Sarva Shastrehi, with the help of all scriptures. So from the standpoint of the body, I am your servant, I will do seva. From the standpoint of being jiva, when identified with the individual upadhi, so I am part, you are the whole. So there is a part-for relationship, Vishishtadvaita. And, but from the standpoint of what really I am, consciousness, I am you. So this is the vision. And from this Manisha Panchakam, what we learn? All that is here is Brahma, that Brahman I am. That is the message. And more some take home points we will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om.